What's good, YouTube? It's Nas and me back with another video. Road to 800 subscribers, of course. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the trade deadline in general. And if you don't know, it's finally official, I guess, that Giannis Antetokounmpo is open to a new home during the trade deadline next week. And if you want me to be honest with you, I didn't think that this would actually happen. Giannis would actually be traded this season. And there's still a possibility that he is not traded this season and they go into the offseason. And with that being said, if you are the Milwaukee Bucks, what can you possibly get for all the teams that are trying to compete and trying to win to their best capability? And with that being said, like, the teams that I really think, or the team that I do think that should go out there and go get Giannis Antetokounmpo, is the New York Knicks. And what you're getting from the New York Knicks isn't appeasable, so I really do think it will be a third team trade when it's all said and done for Giannis Antetokounmpo. But we've been talking about Giannis trade since November, or even since the offseason when we saw what the Bucks were doing. I think we all knew that the Bucks weren't going to compete this season. They were going to be a bad team regardless because of their roster constructed, and we tried to have optimism with this team. See if Giannis can do the carry mode. Then Giannis starts to get injured, and we all know the rest. The Bucks are right now the 12th seed. They were just passed by the Charlotte Hornets, and it's really not looking good for them, who don't even own their pick right now. So when you're looking at the bigger picture for this Milwaukee Bucks team, you look at a rebuild that desperately needs to happen. Nobody really wants to come to Milwaukee. Only player you got was Miles Turner. He was tired of being in Indiana. So you look at what's the next move for them, and obviously Giannis Antetokounmpo is the major domino effect we're waiting to happen for, obviously, this trade deadline to get moving and up and going, because the only trade that has happened so far has been the Trae Young trade to the Washington Wizards, and that feels like months ago, even though it was in January, early January actually, and now it's the end of January at this point, and we're looking at no trades that have been going on. Everybody waiting to see if Giannis is traded and where Giannis goes. So I feel like they're going to probably try to match up with whatever team goes out there and gets Giannis. But Giannis isn't the only tradable piece, I feel like, during this offseason. I mean, not this offseason, during this trade deadline. I think we all know Anthony Davis is one of those players that we know that most likely will get traded by next week. And I can't believe the trade deadline is next Thursday. I feel like we were just talking about it up and coming, and now that it's about to be basically here already, now it's time for the domino effect to start to move. And obviously there's more players like Coby White. Coby White is probably going to get traded, but I feel like the Bulls would need a lot to get off of Coby White, because we all know how Chicago loves Kobe, and they would probably do anything not to trade him at this point. And really the teams to look out for Coby White are the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Houston Rockets. And I do think those two teams need point guards, right? And I wouldn't consider Coby White a point guard. I would consider Coby White as a combo guard, their scoring guard, and that really wouldn't be the bad thing or the worst thing in the world for the Timberwolves, because I feel like they do need that combo guard presence, and they need somebody that is going to go out there and go get a bucket, who is actually a threat on the perimeter. Dante DiVincenzo, at this point, he's not a threat. Bones Hyland, he's giving you that release and that stretch of games where, oh, okay, Bones, you're reliable, but he is not this point guard threat that you would want playing next to Anthony Edwards as a dynamic scorer. And I do think Coby White brings that. For the Houston Rockets' sake, they do need somebody who can control the tempo, and I feel like Coby White can be elite at that role, and I see why Coby White would be triggered to go there. They remain interested in White, obviously. They were willing to trade Rob Dillingham, who I really do think Rob Dillingham deserves a new start somewhere to actually develop, because he's not developing on the bench. And they're more willing to trade Mike Conley, which makes sense because Mike Conley really doesn't have any value at this point. Mike Conley's 39, 40 years old, so you're looking at a player that is really ready to go. The Suns are exploring a market for a power forward. I really feel like that's the only thing the Suns are really missing, because I really do believe in this Suns team this year. Before the season, you had me shaky. I'm like, do I believe in the Suns? But at this point in the season right now, what they're doing right now, yeah, I do see the Suns as a a formidable opponent during these NBA playoffs. But next, getting into the Los Angeles Lakers. And I can't say enough for which the Lakers need to do, because right now the Lakers are a top 6 seed right now. I really honestly don't know how. Like, the talent that they have on their roster, I do not think they should be doing this. And obviously when you have Luka Doncic and LeBron James, you're always going to find a way to win. And right now the Lakers are the 5th seed with the Suns and the Timberwolves on their tail, literally. So they really can't afford to lose any more games. And during this trade deadline, it looks like they're looking to move Rui Hachimura. That looks like their big chip of a piece to move. And really, there's a lot of moves that the Lakers really need to do. Like Gabe Vincent, he needs to go. I'm watching the game with my friend over there. I'm like, what does he do on the basketball court? And then you realize he doesn't do anything. So what is he really there for? And what is he really bringing except for missing wide open threes, not playing defense? Because really, Gabe Vincent is 6'1", 6'2", 6 foot. He's not really that size that you need. And really, when I'm looking at the Lakers, I've said this since obviously watching Luka Doncic. Luka needs athletic wings, and he needs a big man that can catch lobs and that isn't soft. And DeAndre Ayton is both. DeAndre Ayton is soft, and he could barely catch lobs anymore. So DeAndre Ayton just shouldn't be a Laker past next week. And I really do think they should go out there and try to find a way to get Nick Claxton, because I do think that's the center presence that you want around Luka Doncic. But I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens with the Los Angeles Lakers. But the Cavs are engaged in talks around DeAndre Hunter, and I do think that's really their tradable piece for which the Cavs feel like going about this. And when you're thinking about all of these, or are you thinking about the Cleveland Cavaliers? Let's start there. Like, you see a team that was the #1 seed last season and really haven't been living up to expectations this year. Evan Mobley just got hurt, so he's out for a couple weeks. Darius Garland has been injury prone. He's out for a couple weeks. It's really only Donovan Mitchell out there, and you need to find a player that is going to go out there and help Donovan Mitchell. And with that being said, I really don't know how do you go out there and do that without giving up DeAndre Hunter. Indeed, this hasn't been a great season for DeAndre Hunter by any means, but I do think trading him and trying to get a better player than him would be the right decision. And next, getting into the Detroit Pistons. And really, I really said this in my Detroit Pistons video. I do think you need to find a true #2 option next to Cade Cunningham. And I do think, why not go out there and get Michael Porter Jr. or Trey Murphy, whoever's available. You need a scorer next to Cade Cunningham. You cannot rely on Tobias Harris being your second option. I think we've all learned that Tobias, no matter how much you like him, he's not reliable. And when you look at, obviously, a team that is the #1 seed exceeding expectations, what is more of a way to exceed expectations than going out there and going to get a sharpshooter in Michael Porter Jr., this scorer that can get a bucket at any time? And why not do that to relieve the pressure off Cade Cunningham after playing that has to play Superman, that has to play God for you to go out there and go win a game? So that should just tell you a lot for which the Detroit Pistons have to do and what I feel like they should do. I would talk about the Charlotte Hornets, but they've been looking good recently. Their own tradable pieces would probably be Colin Sexton and Miles Bridges, but I don't see Miles Bridges getting moved. Probably Colin Sexton will be moved, but lastly, I guess I'm gonna talk about the Warriors last, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm running out of teams. I am doing off the top of my head. And the Warriors, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't have any faith in them to make any moves to get better. I'm not gonna lie to you. After the last couple seasons, them being hesitant to pull the trigger on Lauri Markkanen, I'm looking at a team which you don't have many options after Jimmy Butler tears his ACL. Jonathan Kuminga, it looks like you're going to keep him for the rest of the season after this whole saga of you playing back and forth with him. It just doesn't make sense from a Warriors experience, or even as a fan or not even as a fan. Like a non-biased opinion, it doesn't make sense what the Warriors are doing whatsoever. But I don't know. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about the trade deadline down below. It feels like it has potential, but we're a week away and really no dominoes have moved. Nothing has changed. Everything is about the same. And it really sucks because I really like seeing drama in the NBA, and it allows me to have video ideas to put out there. But yeah, y'all let me know down below how y'all feel about it. Subscribe. What's good, y'all? If y'all made it to the end of the video, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And there's a video right here. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it if you like this one. And the channel icon's right there if you want to just check out the channel in general. And yeah, leave a like too, because it really helps the algorithm push me out. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching this video nonetheless.